everyone, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Wildflower Tea, and today, my friends, we are going to be discussing Katie Joy and her most recent debacle with 7M Films. For those of you who are not up to speed on this story, I do have a slew of videos in the description down below if you are interested in checking them out. And I also have a playlist on Katie Joy herself and the many situations she's found herself in due to the way she chooses to run things here on social media. For those of you who are not familiar with Katie Joy, she is an LLC under the name of Without a Crystal Ball here on YouTube, and she considers herself to be a quote-unquote journalist for certain topics like the fundamentalist world or fundy world. But aside from that, she also has a huge interest in investigating different religious groups and trying to prove that they are cults. I do think it's also really important to note that Katie Joy is not the most reputable source. In fact, she has found herself in multiple different defamation lawsuits with some really big names like Tati and an ongoing lawsuit as we speak with reality star Chrisley. And these are just a couple of the names she's found herself in deep waters with. Although most of these defamation lawsuits have ended in Katie Joy's favor, it has also really affected her reputation. The biggest reason Katie Joy has found herself in these types of situations is because of the serious and defaming claims she puts on the people she covers. And a lot of times she'll also bring forward one source of factual information, but wrap it up with nothing but speculation and opinion. And this whole story on 7M Films is definitely no exception. For those of you who are not aware, 7M Films is a management company that was created in California back in July 2021. And they represent some of the top influential TikTok dancers all over the world. Katie started to cover this story back in February of this year, stating that the company was formed less than a year ago by the owner, Robert Shin. Shin is also the founding organizer of a church based in Santa Ana, California. And that, my friends, is where things get dicey because in true Katie Joy fashion, she turns into a private investigator and dives headfirst into this story. And I just want to make it very clear that if you are sharing information on a public platform, it is extremely important that you do your research. But the issue here is there has been too many situations where Katie Joy has brought information to the forefront and it not even be factual. And that is exactly why she does have this reputation of being so defaming. My biggest criticism of Katie Joy from day one is the fact that I believe she gets a little bit too obsessed with the stories she covers. And it does get to the point where she's not just quote unquote breaking a story, but she's literally ruining people's lives. Call it dramatic, call it what you will, but all it takes is one little Google search of Katie's name to find this information. And it really sucks too because I actually think that Katie Joy is onto something with this one. The 7M Films group is definitely putting off some strange vibes, and the history behind the owner of this company is really disturbing. But of course, Katie Joy has already started messing up this whole story by putting out serious and defaming claims, plus putting out information from third parties that we don't even know is facts.
It almost looked like money laundering, although I can't say that it is because there's no criminal charges. It seemed like he was using donations from the church and then paying himself through these companies as a way to use the donations as income, if let's be honest. And then there's this whole question about all these different dealings with real estate companies, with the LA Clippers, with all these different brands that they're working with. What does Ellen know? Because Ellen DeGeneres has been featuring them prominently on the show, although not so much lately. Robert Shin is getting exposed, and rather than 7M as a management company defending it or saying this is not true, instead they're creating fake accounts to go after anyone that detracts them, and it's making them look even more like they're a cult. For anyone that's questioning if this is actually a cult, someone actually reached out to me who knows B-Dash, tie-dyes, and concrete, and they told me that one of their friends was being recruited to get into this group. This guy's name is Joey. He has a Instagram handle, and he said I could share this, so I'm just going to share this. He said, I just got some inside information from someone they're trying to recruit for 7M. They told me that he has to die to his family and everything, distracting him. They promised him money and success in exchange for leaving his family. He was told that if he tried to do things on his own, he would be cursed.
Here's the thing about it, you guys. There is no doubts in my mind that there are some strange things going on within this group. And that is why I believe it is detrimental that this story be covered in a very professional manner. We don't need all the speculations. Oh, what does Ellen DeGeneres know? Or the third-party information that we do not know is factual. I mean, honestly, bringing the he said, she said as proof on this story does blur the lines and makes you wonder what's real, what's not, what's fake news that people are just trying to get attention because they know that this is going to be on a public platform, and what is legitimate. And here's the thing about Katie. She wants to be taken seriously. She wants to be viewed as a journalist, but a real journalist would not do it in this way. It does blur the lines of what is real and what is not, and it doesn't get taken as seriously when you add in all these dramatic speculations on things. The story itself is interesting. The information from court documents, etc., is interesting enough on its own. There is no reason to throw in all the extras. And because of all of this, allegedly, it is looking like Katie Joy is on her way to yet another defamation lawsuit. To start with, this group of dancers are fighting back against Katie Joy with this Instagram account titled Without a Crystal Ball or Clue, where they spend a lot of time debunking Katie Joy's claims against them. In the description, it states there are two sides to every story. The first one to speak sounds true until you hear the other side, and they set the record straight. Proverbs 18:17. And now 7M Films have also created an Instagram account with an official statement. In the statement, 7M Films spends a little bit of time explaining what their company does and how it was developed. They also admit that it's true the CEO of 7M, Dr. Robert Shin, is also the pastor of Shekinah Church. The church and 7M are run and operated separate and apart from each other. It is quite common for a person of faith to own and operate one or many secular for-profit businesses. You do not have to be a member of the church to be represented by 7M, nor do you have to be represented by 7M to be a member of the church. Any claims of the contrary are simply wrong. The church is a Christian church that was formed in 1994, and contrary to false and inaccurate reporting in the press, has nothing to do with Seven Mountain Mandate. The M in 7M Films refers to Millennium, a fact which is well documented in its business filings. The statement continues, for reasons that are not clear to us, an online blogger by the name of Paulson, who has been sued by other parties for making false and malicious claims on her site, started a campaign against 7M and the clients that we manage, including the despicable act of trying to turn a private family dispute into a tawdry public scandal. She has recklessly defamed many innocent individuals in the process, and she should be held accountable. 7M is exploring and will continue to use every legal means necessary to address these false and unproven claims in a court of law instead of the court of public opinion. We are confident that the truth will prevail in the end. Judging based off of this post and this post alone, it definitely looks like Katie Joy could be looking towards another lawsuit coming her way. But of course, y'all, that has not stopped Katie Joy from responding. Over on her Instagram, she stated 7M releases a statement denying that there is any conflict of interest regarding Robert Shin's involvement in both the church and 7M. They have named me as public enemy number 1. The information I've reported has come from court records, public business filings, public nonprofit filings, interviews with family, friends, and former church members. Depositions provided in the 2009 lawsuit Chung versus Shin had Robert described in his own words the way he runs his business. Individuals that have left the church have spoken out. Choreographers that have worked with them have spoken out. I've taken information from public statements, public records, and eyewitness accounts. The audio of their church shows that Robert Shin is described as a prophet and leader of a mighty nation. There are eyewitness accounts, friends, and family who all say the dancers at the heart of the story are members of the church. If this was an issue of a simple family dispute, there would be no one else coming forward, yet they have came forward. Rolling Stone conducted their own independent investigation, which came to the same conclusions I've reported. Allegations that I've been sued for defamation are true. However, one lawsuit was settled after all parties agreed no defamation occurred because all evidence proved otherwise. Another lawsuit is filed by a reality star where I reported on a Dr. Phil episode about a dispute between he and his daughter. This lawsuit is baseless and we have filed a motion to dismiss. A lawsuit would make public everything from bank statements, contracts with dancers, housing leases, money paid to and from dancers. Banks can be subpoenaed, depositions can be taken, witnesses can be called. The records can be requested, information on how items were paid for, and how much money is being spent would become public. I mean, everything would come out. I have nothing to hide. I know I've said this before in other videos, but it seems like Katie really enjoys being in lawsuits. And although that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, she constantly says things like, "You're not a real journalist until you've been sued." And it's been said by numerous attorneys here on YouTube that defamation cases are extremely hard to win. Katie Joy only uses that to her advantage. Y'all, please let me know what you think about this whole ordeal in the comments down below. Do you believe Katie Joy is up for another lawsuit really soon? And if so, do you think that this one will have a different outcome than ones in the past? Also, if you would like to stay in the loop with this situation, please consider hitting the like button, subscribing before you go, and tapping the bell for post notifications. That way you're notified every single time a video goes live. I appreciate you guys too, the moon and stars, and until the next one, mwah. Bye guys!